everyone. My name is John Wen. So welcome everyone to the chemistry, organic chemistry 2. This class is for the double section, which means we will have the lecture together for both section 020 and 021. So the instructor is like this. I will be the one do the lecture for both sections, and I will also do the lab for section 021. And Professor Chapter-9, he will be the one do the lab for section 020. So this class is a 5-week class in the summertime at College of DuPage. We are going to study about 15 chapters. 15 chapters. So some of those chapters probably is kind of a review for you. So it's kind of a fast pace. And we are going to start on Chapter-9. The textbook we use is Carey, 9th edition, plus the lecture notes by Professor Chapter-9. And we start on Chapter-9, and then we will go all the way through to Chapter 23. So the greeting for the class is like this. I will give you the quiz and the homework and exam and labs and the final. Right. So let me show you the percentage of each of those categories. For both section 20 and 21, we will have 25% from the lab. In my section, this 25% of the lab will have the 3-level practical. Altogether, 3-level practical will counting to 50 points, which is 5%. And so then the check-in, check-out will be 20 points, 2%. And we will do the 12 labs. Each lab is 15 points. And so you will get 180 points from the 12 labs. In the 12 labs, you will get points from the so-called golden sheet and lab report. For each lab, I will give you a golden sheet. So you will fill up the golden sheet before the lab. Pretty much it's some of those MSDS data collections. And after you do the lab, you will write the lab report, summarize what you did, what is your observation, what you produce, maybe calculate some simple percent yield, and that will counting about 12 points. So 3 points from the golden sheet, plus 12 points from the lab report, 15 points for each lab. And I will assign the homework for each chapter, 15 chapters, 15 homework. And all the homework is due by a certain date. For example, the first 3 chapters is due this coming Sunday. So you will check the blackboard. All the homework is turned in, or you submit the homework on the blackboard. Okay, so on the blackboard, on the left side of your screen, there are some of those content area. You will see the assignments. You go to the assignments, you will see those each chapter's homework. You click on that chapter, you will see there's the second section is attachment. So you finish the homework, you can scan it if you have a scanner at home, or you can go to the library, scan it, or you can take a picture, the JPG, or what kind of format, and you submit online. So don't miss the due date. Our counting 10 out of the 15 homework. So each homework is 10 points. So you can drop 5 homework, you will get 100 points from the homework. But I will give you some bonus if you don't drop any homework. If you drop the homework, no penalty if you drop 5 homework. But if you finish all the homework, I will give you 10 extra points. Okay, so any questions?
Can you do the homework ahead of time?
Can you do the homework what?
Ahead of time?
At any time.
You can do it ahead of time.
You can do ahead of, yeah, you can do ahead of time. Yeah, you can do, I pretty much already opened all the homework for the 15 chapters. And the homework programs is from the book. And which program you do is in the lecture notes. Where you get the lecture notes? From Blackboard. So I saw some of you already visit the Blackboard. And you see I write some of those recommendations. I like to see you print out those lecture notes and bring it to the class. Because that will speed up our lecture. Because our class is very, very fast paced. And once you turn in the homework, and I will give you the feedback, I will give you the correct answer. So you submit your homework, I will submit a file to you, so you will get a return, which is the answer. You study the homework because all those quiz and exam come from the homework and the lecture notes. All those programs come from the lecture notes, program, and the homework. Okay, so we have 15 chapters, but I will only give you 14 quiz. So chapter 23, no quiz. But chapter 23 have the homework. So 14 quiz, again, I will counting only 10. And each quiz is 15 points. And you will get 150 from the 10 quiz. Alright? And that will be 15%. And then you can drop 4 quiz. If you don't drop any quiz, I see all you have all the quiz, no matter how much you get, you will get a 10 points bonus, extra credit. Right? So then we will have 4 exams. So those middle term exams, I will give you the exam questions. Each exam, how many questions depends. So some of those exams might have more questions, some of those exams has less questions. And each exam I will have 120 points on it. And you can drop one of those exams. So I will counting your 3 hires. Now this time there is no bonus. So you take 4 exams and then you will see I will take your 3 hires. Alright, so then the final exam is sort of the ACS style. If you take a class from CUD, you are not unfamiliar with those formats. ACS is American Chemical Society, and we use those standard tests for our Jacking 1 and Jacking 2. And this organic 2 ACS style will cover both organic 1 and organic 2. So if you just study, or if you just take the organic 1 here, you will have good memory of those material in organic 1. Right? Any questions? Right now, we did not think about that, so we don't allow to drop any labs. Okay, so I have this tentative schedule for the lecture and for the lab, which is on the syllabus, and you can get the syllabus from the blackboard. Most of the lab we do is from the book by Pavia. Some of those not on Pavia, we will give you the handout. Okay, so this two sessions, my session in the lab is, as I told you, you do the gluten sheet, do the lab report, and then you will have the 3-level practical. Level practical is kind of, I will give you some of those problems, you try to come up with a solution. For example, how you do the separation of some mixture, and how you take IR spectroscopy. So some of those techniques you learn in organic class, and we are going to examine you on the level practical. So just give you the problem, you try to come up with some answers. Okay, so that's briefly about the syllabus. Any questions about the class or syllabus? Okay, so if you go to Blackboard, you will be able to download the lecture notes, which is in PDF, and you will bring to the class. The lecture notes have a lot of those empty places, and those is for you to fill up in the lecture. I think we will start on the lecture. We'll start on the first chapter, Chapter-9, which is about Alkynes. I think for most of us, this kind of review, you already take this class somewhere, and you already studied that. But I will go by the category of this class. So that means we need to cover this chapter because some of you might not study this yet. Alright, so in each chapter I have the so-called objectives at the beginning. And this is for you to read it. When you review it, it's kind of easy to know what is the important point for this chapter. So we'll start on the type of alkynes. And we know alkyne is those kind of hydrocarbons has the so-called functional group with a C and a C triple bond like this. And carbon is the so-called tetravalence, which means need 4 chemical bonds. So therefore you have 1 chemical bond for each carbon left, which can bond into any other atom or group of atoms. The simplest alkyne is the so-called acetylene or E sign. So this will be our IUPAC name. Okay? And our common name is acetylene. It becomes so common, it's accepted by the IUPAC. So most of the time I'm going to use acetylene. Okay? And acetylene has the structure, obviously need the carbon-carbon triple bond. It is the simplest one because we only have 2 carbon, and you have 2 H bonding to the 2 carbon. Right. So then, according to how much H, how many of the two H is replaced by some other glucose, we have the so-called monosubstituted alkynes, or the terminal alkynes. One example of the monosubstituted alkynes is this structure. Alright, so excuse me for the handwriting because I get used to writing on my notepad. Alright, so this alkyne, I use those line structures, so that means I will not draw all those H that is bonding to the carbons. Okay? And you see there's an H bonding to the carbon, so therefore we call that terminal alkyne or monosubstituted. So we replace one H on the left side by this butyl group. And so then you can just substitute both H. Okay? And the name for this is called 1-hexane. You can substitute both H. One example of this is like this. So this will be the triple bond here. And obviously, this guy here is not H anymore, means CH3. And CH2, CH3. So therefore, this is a di-substituted acetylene, and we call that internal alkyne. And for this guy, you will see this triple bond is on carbon 2, so therefore it is 2 times means 5, and then Y and E 2 pi. More about the nomenclature. The nomenclature for the alkyne is very similar as the alkene. You replace A and E by the Y and E. So then if you have both the double bond and also the triple bond in your structure, and you have to get familiar with which end you are going to start the numbering. So in terms of numbering, number the carbon chain, the double bond will take the precedence if there is a tie. If there is no tie, you will just start on the end that is closer to one of those triple bonds. Okay? So let's see, we have this structure here, and we have a double bond on the right side. We have a triple bond on the left side. Okay? Because this double bond on the right is closer to the end, 1, 2. This triple bond on the left side is a little far, 1, 2, 3. Okay? So that is clear. You will number your carbon from the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Right? So then you will name this. If there are some of those stereochemistry, obviously you have to name those stereochemistry. For double bond, you can have a C or trans, or E or Z. For this double bond, it's trans, so therefore you just start with trans. And then you will just say 2 to indicating the location of the double bond. And you have 7 carbon, so have and then En. And then you are indicating the location for the triple bond. Triple bond on number 4. And then you indicating that triple bond by Y and E. Right. So sometimes you will have a tie. Let's see a tie of the triple bond and double bond. Right? So in this structure, you have a triple bond on the left side, you have the double bond on the right side. Both of them on the second carbon. So where are you starting from? You start from the left or from the right. You will start with the double bond. The double bond in terms of numbering has a precedence. Okay? So you are start on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, and so then again you have to indicate in the double bonds stereochemistry. So this again is trans, and 2 again, right? So you will have the habitat or heptene, right? And dash. Now this time our triple bond is on number 5, right? Dash, and then Y and E. Very simple. I might have some of those questions on the exam naming, but not too many namings. Alright, so next about the physical property. Physical property for the alkyne is very similar as those alkane and alkene. Density is low, solubility is low, relatively low boiling point because there's no powder bond, and only intermolecular force is the dispersion force. So for those small guys, unless your hydrocarbon become very, very big, like those plastic films, usually they have a very small, very weak intermolecular force. Right, and next is the acidity of terminal alkynes. Okay? So we know those carbon in the molecules usually they were tetravalent. That means instead of those carbon cations, they only have 3 bonds. Most of the carbon you will see 4 chemical bond. Okay? 4 chemical bond or 3 chemical bond. The carbon like to use the so-called hybridizations. They don't simply take the s orbital or p orbital, so they mix s with p. And in the alkyne triple bond, the carbon will take 1s with 1p mix, use the so-called sp hybridization. Okay? Sp hybridization will tell you the geometry for this few atoms in this triple bond area is linear. And then because you have sp, so you will see in this in those kind of hybridization orbital, you have 50% of s characteristic, 50% of p characteristic, right? Sp. So we'll see that later on more. 50% of S and 50% of P. Okay? So you start in general chemistry, S orbital is a little closer in the same layer, 2s or 2p. So 2s is closer to the nucleus. So that make those carbon sp hybridize little more electronegative. So therefore, for those H bonding to the sp carbon, it is a little bit more acidic. This seems a very small change, but this change will make some of those very, very useful for those alkyne has those H on the triple bond carbon. We can use those acidity to do very, very interesting synthesis. Okay? For example, you compare these 3 different type of hydrocarbons. Alkene, example is ethane, CH3, and then you have the alkene, which have a double bond. Example is this ethene. CH2, and then compare with acetylene, CH. So because the hybridization sp3 for ethane, and sp2 for ethylene, and sp for acetylene. So the S character gradually increases from 25% to 33% to 50%. And then you can see the acidity of the H bonding to these different carbons gradually become stronger and stronger. And how do you know your acid or base is strong? You can use the so-called pKa. So for pKa, the the larger the pKa for the acid, the weaker the acid. So pKa for acid is about, for all those saturated hydrocarbons, about 60. Okay? And for those H bonding to a double bond, about 45. Okay? For the H bonding to the triple bond, is about 26. Right? So once you take those H away, you actually take the H plus away. So therefore, you left over the electron from the H, and then the carbon will have the extra electron. So it becomes the negative ion. We call that carbanion. Carbanion, for example, from the acetylene, from this guy, it will be looks like this. So initially you have H on both sides, but if you take H plus away, you are left over 2 electrons on this carbon. Now this carbon, we will usually write a negative sign here, because this kind of species, carbanion, carbon anion. So that's explain why those carbanion from the acetylene is little like a silver, little weaker base, is because the electron in this on this carbon, and this carbon is sp hybridized, and the electron orbital is a little smaller, so therefore the electron is controlled a little more firmly by the nucleus, not available for the proton, so therefore it's a little weaker base and make the S conjugate S a little stronger. And so now we can do a few practices to decide if you have those kind of base that come from the acid. So you have the so-called acid-base reaction, and you can decide whether your acid-base reaction favors the left side, right side. We can consider, in some sense, all those chemical reactions in equilibrium, even though the equilibrium is very, very heavily favors one side for some of those reactions. Right, and let's see, for example, hypothetically, is water a strong enough base to deprotonate methane and acetylene? We will write those chemical reaction equations, identify acid base, conjugate base, and then we use the pKa, identify which one is weak acid, which one is strong acid, so that we will see the equilibrium will favors the weaker acid side. So you have the methane, which is the CH4. CH4 obviously will have the structure like this. So you have 1C and 4H. And let's take this molecule, let's see, is this possible to react with water and proceed to a larger extent. And then you know water is H2O, so therefore H2O is 2H1O. And you draw those structure, you know those long pairs on all the 2 pairs. And in organic chemistry, you study those so-called electron flow by using the curved arrows. So these pair of electrons can flow onto one of those H. Then the 2 electrons will flow onto the carbons. And so you produce some of those carbanions. In this case, the carbanion you produce is C and H and H and H. Then you have 2 pair of electrons here. So that makes this carbon negative. So then water become hydronium ion. So that's because you get 1 extra H on this. So that becomes plus. Right? So on the left side, we say this is our acid, and this is our base. Then conjugate base on the right side. So this will be our conjugate base. And then this will be our conjugate acid. Right? And so then I draw these 2 lines here. That means either my favor on the left or the right. So how do you know? Use the pKa. Right? So the pKa for those saturated hydrocarbons for medicine or for anything. It's about 60, you can write 60 or 62. And so then on the right side, we have the hydronium ion, which is our acid.